Welcome, everyone, to a new episode of Coming Home, Live After SAS. My name is Viviana Premazzi. I was Intercultural Communication Specialist for Voyage 134. Together with me, there is Emma DeCaro, ASL Interpreter for Voyage 134, and also now. And today we have another guest that really probably no need any introduction. It was an amazing contributor to our voyage, captain also of one of our seas. So maybe later she will also explain what that mean for her and like all the roles that the people can play on the ship, kind of. And also someone who really helped us to make the voyage more inclusive. And inclusion is like a word that can really be a buzzword, but thanks to her, Emma, Eli, and Macy, we really understood what and how like a voyage can really be inclusive. So welcome, Julia, for being here with us and share. I will just go to the first question that really asks you to introduce yourself. Um, Also, maybe link to what you did on Voyage 134. Welcome.
Hello, yes. My name is Julia Bronneberg. This is my sign name, and I am deaf. I was born and raised in the western part of New York, and I am a third-year biology student at Gallaudet University in Washington, D.C. I was a student on Voyage 134, and I was one of the first two deaf students with hired ASL interpreters to come. And I was so excited for SAS and looking forward to them having more in the future. As Viviana mentioned, part of the vision of inclusion on the ship was just being able to show what is possible, how we can be inclusive with professors, with other students, with the people that we live with on the shipboard community. And accessibility for us, wasn't just for the fact that we were deaf, but it could be a whole host of different needs or reasons to be more inclusive. And so it really benefits the whole community when there's more inclusion involved. And so it was just an awesome opportunity to help set change and tone for future voyages.
Exactly. I cannot agree more. And so maybe for people also who are following for the first time, they're not voyagers or they were not SASer, what is SAS, if you can explain like in your own words, and what was SAS for you?
Very simply, Semester at Sea is a study abroad program where you get to live on a ship and take college classes while traveling to different countries, all within 4 months. So that is what it is at its core. If you ask me what SAS was for me personally, it was the most awesome study abroad program, hands down. But it was also an opportunity to learn more about myself, to figure out who I am, or for you, figure out who you are, and have more focus on your mental health or just your entire personhood. And so semester at sea is truly one of the best experiences that I've ever had for myself. I really noticed that I started to get into burnout before I came to semester at sea, and so it really helped me just slow down, pause, and have a good opportunity to reconnect with myself, with who I am, my interests, and just the world at large. And so it really helped me come back and have the right mindset to finish school strong. Semester at sea is just a perfect opportunity to disconnect from normal life and learn more about yourself.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That's so important and so interesting. And I think something that it's coming out from other interviews, like there's not only, let's say, one way of doing the voyage. Like it's a voyage inside yourself, it's a voyage with other people, it's a voyage like traveling the countries. So thank you for making and sharing about this. So then we came back, like we disembarked in Bangkok in on December 22nd, and now it's like it's more than 2 months. So what do you miss the most about semester at sea?
Being around my friends, being at sea every day, just being present because we had almost no internet connectivity when we were on the ship. And so it really allowed us to kind of be here now. And I miss that the most. Seeing the crew, seeing my professors, just Also, random animals off the side of the ship was a fun surprise. So there's lots of small pieces that I miss, but probably the most is just seeing everyone and having that same kind of routine every day. I really appreciated those small details in the bigger picture.
Yeah. Yeah, and thank you for sharing this. I think it's something we most of us, if not all of us, we can really relate about like the people. And then something again that it's important for also people to understand, and it's coming out from the interviews, is like there was no connectivity, but that was a good thing. Actually, it were not that we were disconnected because we were actually present, as you just said. So thank you also for making this to highlight this. So tell us on the other side one of your favorite memories. And I know it's difficult to choose, so you can also add more than one favorite memory.
Yeah, you said it. It's hard to pick one, but the first thing that comes to mind was the Sea Olympics. As Viviana mentioned earlier, I was sea captain for my sea, and we just had the most fun day. You're able to see everybody just get so involved in their own unique way. Everybody was having fun. No one was having to think about school or any responsibilities. We were able to just play and hang out with each other. I remember one of our preparation meetings for Sea Olympics, we were talking about, if we should let people know what the points or the scores were going to be during the middle of the day. And we decided against that because we wanted everybody to be fully present and not ruin the spirit of fun or camaraderie throughout all of the activities. We didn't want people to be comparing each other the whole time. And so we waited till the end of the day, and that was actually a really great thing for us. I felt that not having any sight line to what the score was reduced any conflict or ill will throughout the day. So I just loved that. It was incredibly fun. So that's probably my top moment of the entire voyage. I absolutely have others too, but there are definitely too many to count. Olympics was a highlight for sure.
Yeah, yeah, and that was beautiful. And it's funny if I'm thinking, I think also Emma, our sea, and some people in our sea, how competitive they were, and probably waiting for actually the points to be like released. And then I agree with you. It was so good like this, and not to ruin the spirit of just like having fun and playing together or against each other, but still having fun. So yeah, I'm totally with you, even if I know some people were disappointed. So yeah, that was great. And so then we came back, and also one reason why we are doing these interviews is that we know that re-entry can be hard, and sometimes even more than adjusting to life at sea despite the seasickness or like life abroad. So how was for you coming back, and what were your main struggle, if you had anything that was kind of difficult for you to put in place or reorganize or understanding?
The first hardest part for me was honestly the sleep schedule at first for quite a while, because from where I am to where Thailand is, there's a 12-hour difference in the time. And so I actually think that 12 hours might be the hardest to adjust to because it is just halfway through the day. And anything less than that, you can adjust a little easier. But that was a big challenge for sure, trying to get back into healthy rhythms. So that's the first hardest part. I think there's a couple others too. I was kind of surprised that it wasn't as hard as I thought it would be in some ways. I think something that helped was that I live in the middle of nowhere. And so I've already, gotten to reconnect to nature and things that are here. But I think it's really challenging, or it's been really challenging to try and explain my experience to people who weren't part of it in a way that they will understand, be interested in, and try to help them get a better picture, because I don't want to, you know, assume they're not going to understand, not even try to get into details, but it is just a totally different framework that many people have never been exposed to before. So I tried to use experiences from their life to explain my story so that they could maybe relate to it easier. But yeah, that was kind of an interesting phenomenon for me, is knowing people with different perspectives, how they would receive my experience overseas.
Very interesting. And yes, like also this was probably something we expected for people, even friends, being difficult to understand what the experience that we had and all the layers and all the like the complexity or the nuances. And yes, and then so what strategy? And I think that your is a very good strategy. So try to find something that they can relate to, so maybe something that also others can use for other experiences or transition that they're going to have. And so you started already with our kind of last question. What strategies or what resources did you use to cope with like the physical maybe challenges of adjusting, but also the emotional, the psychological, or even the academic challenges of readjusting?
One of the biggest things that helped was the fact that I went to semester at sea with my friend Macy, who goes to the same university as me. We're in the same major, we have almost all the same classes, and so we see each other quite a bit on campus. And we don't have to talk about semester at sea all the time, but we just know when we make eye contact that we have been through the same things, that we went through that same journey. And I can always just chat with her if I want to vent about something or reminisce on an experience that we had. So that's a really nice asset. I also made a YouTube channel throughout the entire voyage to document our experiences. And so often I'll just watch one of the previous vlogs that I made. So if I miss an activity or something about my friends, something we were involved in together, I'll just watch one of the vlogs. And it's a really great way, in addition to pictures, to see the things that my friends and I lived through. I also love looking at my friends' social media posts and seeing people retell and relive their stories from the voyage.
Yeah, amazing. I didn't know about the
I,
YouTube channel.
yeah, basically I get to relive things through pictures and videos. And I do actually have some letters from my friends that they gave me before we left. And so I love getting to reread those. And I love the fact that there was that tradition of signing the map, kind of like a yearbook. And so that was really fun just to see. I have it hung up like above my bed in my dormitory. And so I love looking up and just thinking of all the people that I met on the voyage as well. And then I'd say, one thing that helped me from semester at sea is just knowing that all of those resources are there and that I can relive moments through those memories.
Amazing. Sorry, I jumped because I was excited about the YouTube channel. I was like, okay, we need to link this straight away. And I just go and watch it. Because again, I think it's something I can totally relate. And I think I'm not the only one, like reliving some memories. But not in a negative way, but really and maybe this is what's not part of the question, but I just, to elaborate on what you just said, is kind of what you can tell to people that, and maybe you had the same experience, like they came back and they said, oh, that was just a dream. And so like maybe to how to help us to say, yeah, it was a dream in the sense it was beautiful, but it was not just a dream, it was real. Any suggestion, despite like maybe reliving the memory or just highlight what you just said?
I'm still trying to figure that out, honestly. I don't have my answer quite yet. But something that does help again is looking at those old videos and pictures and just proof that we were there, that we did do these experiences together. When I left Hong Kong, I told Emma, I feel like I am in a dream. I feel like these past few months have just gone by so quick. And it was just yesterday, I was like, hi, my name's Julia and I'm here. And then the video for our final stop, I was wrapping it up like, hi, I'm Julia. We're here in Hong Kong. Last stop is Thailand. It all just came by in such a blink. And when I do see those videos, while it does feel like a dream, it does help me really place myself back in that feeling and that environment mentally. So
Thank you. Thank you so much. I think we can. That was the last question. Also, this was not in the plan, but maybe we can. So you also had a club teaching and helping people to use the sign language and learn the sign language. So can we tell SAS voyagers or future voyages or past voyages how it is in sign language semester at sea, and maybe any other word you think can be good for them to know?
Sure, I'll start with semester at sea. So this is semester and then at sea, like kind of the waves. Those are the three different words. Typically, we just would sign semester and then sea. So that's the expanded version of SAS. For Voyage 134, it's this three-hand shape and then just 1, 3, and 4. Emma, what else should we include? I think the countries would be a fun way to end the countries that we stopped in. And Julia says, yes, we went to 10 different countries. And so from the beginning to the end, I'll just show those signs. This is Netherlands, Portugal, Morocco, Ghana, South Africa, Mauritius, India, Vietnam, Hong Kong, and Thailand.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much. Good, and I wish you all the best for everything. And thank you everyone also for watching. We will meet you in the next episode with our next guest. Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.